Along with Reggie Theus and Cheryl Miller, Bob Neal with you from the Delta Center in Salt Lake City, Utah, where the Utah Jazz got out to a commanding 1-0 lead. If you wonder why 1-0 can be commanding, well, it's in the way they did it. Of Game 2 underway here at the Delta Center. Malone handles it to Stockton.
In this series.
Inside to Malone. When he's that low, look out. Malone was posted right inside under the basket. Have yet to score. Weber should score here. Weber gets the opening points of the game for the Sacramento Kings. And on Hornacek. Go ahead, it's 6-6. Nice pass. Weber misses the jam. Back comes Stockton. Has Malone left. Russell right. Stockton. Hornacek, the trailer on the left side. 6-2 Utah.
As possible second, he made that play happen.
Divac from 19. Excellent outside shooter. Reggie, as you said in the open, Divac 4. Divac out at the high post. Gets it to Wahed. That is a 2, and it is tied. It's
as the Kings know that getting off to a good start is essential tonight.
Spin move, Divac. Vlade missed his first 4 shots in game 1. Lead ever in this year's playoffs. They never led in game number 1. Karl Malone from the corner, and the lead was short-lived. Weber wide open from 17.
See, I believe that the energy level that the Kings have put out on the
6 better than his season average of 12 in game 1. Malone left alone for the jumper. Now you've got a Styles, and Malone opens up with 7 of the Jazz 11 points. Jason Williams and the Kings shooting much better. They shot only 36%. Williamson.
One of the keys tonight, obviously, Divac from the perimeter, and now taking it inside. Nice spin move and going to his left hand. Ostertag flagging at the missed shot. That have taken notice from game 1 and come out here and did just that, playing more physical basketball.
Malone steals it from Weber. Russell on the break. Lay-in is good, and it's 14-12 Jazz. Weber, Jason Williams working on Stockton. Pass inside, Corliss Williamson. He misses, Weber follows.
Nice play. Jason Williams finding Corliss in the middle.
17-footer, rims out. Malone is there for the offensive board. Karl Malone. Malone has early in this game 9 of the Jazz 16 points.
Well, he may have a big night, because tonight they don't want to double team Karl Malone.
Weber ball fake reverse. Wow. Chris Weber, a man possessed tonight. He had
game 1, and tonight he promised it would be different.
Hornacek picked up the deflected pass and got it to Greg Ostertag, his first hoop of the night. Jason Williams had to make a nice play just to catch that pass. Pull-up jumper for 3. Jason Williams, and it's 19-18 King. He popped out from the center, and Weber, he'll take the 3. And make it Chris Weber on fire. 25-18 Sacramento. Weber.
How many fouls you end up with?
Kings up by 7. 3:57 in the period. Isley hits it. And that reduces the lead to 5. 20 down a bit and get into their half court, but Isley pulled the trigger quickly there. Thus the rebound to the Kings with 10 on the shot clock. Inside Williamson. It falls. Divac did not touch the ball. 20
to their sets of offense.
Malone takes a quick one here. Karl misses. Isley with the board inside. How'd he get that? Hornacek from Isley. 5-point Kings lead. Minute 25 to go. First period. Williams gets past Isley for the short jumper. Larry Miller, your take on Jason Williams.
And a few things, really sticking with the game plan tonight, especially on the defensive end. A lot of plays they're stopping that they didn't in game 1. Right there, nice pass by Maxwell, finding Vlade Divac, and that's what happens when you play. Well, they need a little bit of Maxwell's tenacity out here tonight, and that's what he's brought with them all year long.
Russell with the rebound off the Thurl Bailey miss. Bailey will try it again. He won't miss this time. 39-28, 9:40.
I took him down with a forearm shiver. So I called him a cheap shot artist. He took offense to that and came at me pretty hard, suggested a couple of things he was going to do to me.
8:48 to go in the first half. 41-28, 41-30 Kings.
Sacramento Kings doing a great job defensively so far in this game. Right here, a little bit of a breakdown right there, letting Shannon Anderson gets baseline, but also a great pass by John Stockton. Jason Williams gets all the ooh-wee plays, but John Stockton's passes are just as incredible.
Like that one. Thurl Bailey makes some pay. Scott Pollard couldn't get to him. Stockton threaded the needle. Drive wouldn't follow. Pollard. Anderson blows by everybody. That'll bring them to their feet at the Delta Center. Even further into the lead. Kings 41, Jazz 34. Back in a moment. In the lead by 6, 41 to 36. Malone off the glass. The lead now cut to 3. It was 5. Isley inside Malone. Stepped inside of Divac. 41-40. Jazz with a full frontal assault. 12-0. Because of what's going on so much in Yugoslavia and his worrying about his parents, had only 3 hours sleep last night. Outlet to Jason Williams with a lay-in, and the Kings rebounds. That's when Vlade tries to communicate with his parents in Serbia and his brother who's in the Army and is stationed in Belgrade. Malone from long range. Kings by 3. Carl has 7. Jazz cut it to 1. Kings have come back since then.
Bob, the referees have let this game go, and it's a very physical ball game, but there is so much slapping going on and so much bumping that if they
cut it and a half to go. Stockton and Malone working on the left side. How many times have you seen that? Stockton was left very alone. Jason Williams stepped back. Stockton ties. Stockton, Malone. Stockton thinks twice, spins around, kicks. Isley, 4 seconds. Isley for the lead, for the tie. It's tied, 49.
And I think from a structure standpoint, it is showing up in this game. They're doing a good job in the structure.
Foster wide open. Jazz lead at the half. What a comeback. They can be sure they're going to see some spurts. 51-49 Jazz. Kings open with the ball. Weber going down inside. There's that little jump hook that he loves to rely on. And that may be the first time I've seen that in this game here tonight. It's tied at 51.
Well, what that did is immediately gets the crowd out of the game. Right now, the momentum shifts after the Jazz had such a nice close of the first half.
Stockton on the baseline. Curl comes into the paint, gets it from Malone. They did lead early, 6-2. That was their biggest lead, and they match it here. Abdul ahead at 6'6", gets inside, can't shoot it. They'll go right back to Corliss Williamson. His turnaround will fall. Good pass from Chris Webber. And speaking of Chris Webber in passing, it is one of the highlights of this game, often overlooked.
And I agree with you, Bob, but right there, again, the Kings got away with a 3-second call. You pass it in, pass it out, and pass it back in. There's got to be 3 seconds.
Stockton blew by Jason Williams like he was nailed to the floor. Stockton, Russell, 9 on the shot clock, Hornacek. Over a flailing of stolen Russell. Divac rebound, loose ball. What a ball game. This is like volleyball with a hoop. Ryan Russell finally knocks it down. The crowd is set down.
It ain't pretty, but it is fun.
Jason Williams gets it inside and a nice look to Abdul ahead. 21 points halfway through the third period. He had 21 points in only 3 periods of play in game 1. Jason Williams hits the triple coming off the screen. It is 63-61. Jazz interior pass to Williamson, blocked by Ostertag. He had 6 in game 1. Russell, nobody there, and Russell with the throwdown. 65-61 Jazz. That all started with the Ostertag block.
Ostertag patrolling the back line. He's very good at giving help and blocking shots right here on the help defense on Corliss Williams. A nice block, and then, of course, that starts a nice break. Kings slow in transition. Brian Russell knows how to finish it. The Jazz up by 4. We'll be right back. At all for Karl Malone, and if Joe Klein really thought it was, he should have did a lot more than just push Karl in the chest.
Divac, with patience in the double team, waited for Jason Williams to come around the screen and drain the 3. Kings now trail it by a point. Jason's 3rd triple here tonight. 6:15 to go in the 3rd period. Malone Decided to pull up for the jumper over Weber. Weber had him defended from lane penetration, but Carl, as Jerry Sloan says, or as Rick Adelman said, Carl has become a jump shooter. I had a darn good one. Divac isolated against Ostertag. Oh, what a battle these two have had this year. The hook goes down for Vlade. It's a one-point Jazz with 5 minutes to go in the period. Hornacek all alone. Penetrated. How about that block? That came from Abdul Waheed. 6'6" long arms. Jason Williams behind the back. Weber, trailer, Williamson. Wow!
Oh, the young fella got a little flavor in his. Take a look at Jason Williams giving it up with the no look behind the back, and then Chris Weber feeling it, giving it over to Corliss Williamson to finish the game. But look at that. Off the no look, on the money, passing 3 times on the inside. That's that.
Isley, penetration over Jason Williams. Malone to follow.
You got to take advantage of your opportunities. Very, very sure of themselves.
Scott Pollard, excellent. Hustle under the boards. Maxwell goes to the reverse. Mad Max. That's just in his second year from San Jose State. Excellent defender, long arms, and a good guard rebounder. And to Pollard off the glass.
That's a big-time play. Pollard with the left hand.
On the shot clock, Russell missing, Maxwell running. As Waheed on the far wing, but Max is going to take the 3 and drain it. How about it? Mad Max is hitting it tonight. King against the Jazz.
Maxwell finding the range. Nice layup here, and then comes back and hits the big jumper. Look at the body control on that play. In transition, he can shoot the long one, guys, pulling up from deep, and he really talks about how his kids and his wife.
Eurodollars.
Well, it's always funny when you talk about Thurl Bailey. He goes away for 4 years, he comes back, and they're running the same plays.
Interior pass, Divac to Pollard with 3.8 to go in the away. Divac saves, Barry on the run.
And Bob,
he pulls up for the 3.
This is
Bang,
the
count it.
pace that the Kings had right here, making them play their style of giving them a nice lift.
Jazz 3 turnovers in 5 possessions in the 4th period. Maxwell for 3. It is 84-76. Kings by 8. 8:31 to go in the ball game. John Barry's going to think about and hit the 3. Zip. Donut. Malone changes that as he shoots it over Pollard. Back to an 8-point lead. Malone with Maxwell, Stojakovic on the floor. Weber, the only starter out there. Malone backing in Pollard. Pollard in his space, but who's going to stop Malone down there? 31 for Carl tonight.
And the Kings did a great job. What happens is your back goes into spasm when you're having problems down there, and that's a protection thing.
Great pass from Weber to Divac with the lay-in, and now Kings back by 6 against Malone. Last time, remember, Weber turned it over down here. 10 on the shot clock, looking for his jump hook. Got it off the glass. Big bucket. It's been the first time into Malone. Back out Stockton. 4-3. Count it, John Stockton. Oh, baby.
And they're really utilizing. What this does is it lets everyone on the court know where the shot is coming from. That way they can work on the offensive rebound. And Chris Weber showing what he's made of, Bob. Back-to-back buckets out.
58 to go. Could the Jazz lose this game at home after winning the first one by 30? Not if Karl Malone has anything to say about it. 93-88, Kings by 5. The Utah Jazz, the defending Western Conference champions, 22-3 here at home. And everything's going in. Barry threw that up after the foul. And you saw the Portland score, but they came back for a 109-102 win in Game 2 48 hours later. And now a mirroring of that by the Sacramento Kings. 7 seconds. Isley missing the 3. This one is all over, but the shouting. The Kings upsetting the Jazz at home, 101-90, taking the home court advantage away from Utah. And let's go to Cheryl Miller. Professional career, Chris Weber, the star, the leader of the Sacramento Kings. He had 20 points tonight. Divac 18, Williams 18. Great job off the bench. It'll be a wild one in Sacramento. For Reggie Theus and Cheryl Miller, this is Bob Neal saying so long from Salt Lake City. Coming up next, Ernie Johnson in our studios in Atlanta.
the 1999 Atlanta Braves, all season on the Superstation.